So, vero or falso? Lo spazio di frenatura aumenta se la strada è in salita. And the answer to this question is false. Now, what is spazio di frenatura? We are talking about the braking space. Okay, the braking space. So the braking space increases when we are proceeding on uphill. So assuming we have dorsal, okay, assuming we have a road which is dorsal, and we know that on dorsal we have uphill and downhill, we have salita and discesa. So according to the principle, okay, when you are proceeding through an uphill, your braking space is always less. When you march on the brakes, your vehicle will stop at once. So the space required to stop your vehicle is very less as compared to being in the downhill and marching your brakes. Guys, let's take these two things for example. We have uphill and a downhill, okay? If someone, okay, is climbing a mountain and at the same time another person is descending from the mountain, which one of the two, okay, will be able to stop without difficulties? It is the person climbing the mountain, because when you are climbing a mountain on an uphill, there's a force trying to push you backwards. So in a car, if you are in salita, when you match the brakes, it will take you only some small space for your car to stop. And on the contrary, if you are proceeding or someone is descending from a mountain already, there's a force pushing you. So if you match your brakes, though your car will stop, but your car will require more space before it can stop. So to compare driving through uphill and driving through downhill, it is always very easy to stop your car, or you need a small space to stop your car on salita than in discesa. Okay, and the question says that your braking space increases when you are on the uphill, and the answer to this question is false. Your braking space diminishes when you are in salita and aumenta when you are in discesa. So after the questions, we are going to do some short summary. Our next question. La distanza minima di sicurezza se si viaggia a 50 km all'ora deve essere di circa 5 metri, vero o falso? So if your answer is false, yeah, do the calculation and let me have your results. And the answer to this question is false. Okay, so when you are proceeding at 50 kilometers per hour, according to the question, your security distance, okay, to keep between your car and the car ahead of you, the question says that you must keep around 5, and the answer to this question is false. Now, always divide the velocity, which is 50, divided by 10 times 3. If you do it, the fixed result is going to be 15. Okay, and if you're in circulation, no one can calculate and have the fixed velocity you are proceeding. So when you are proceeding 50 kilometers per hour, 50 divided by 10 times 3 will give you 15. But if you see 14, the answer is true. Because the question says that your meters, the space between you and the car ahead of you, is around 14 meters. The answer is true. 15 meters. The answer is true. 13 meters. The answer is true. Okay. But the authorities, they says that we must know that if you see 50 kilometers per hour, know that the meters is around 14 meters, not 15, 14 meters, because no one can calculate and have the right meters when you are in a circulation. No, it is not possible. So it is around 15 meters. Our next question. Lo spazio di frenatura si quadruplica se la velocità si raddoppia, vero o falso? We also learned this yesterday. And the answer to this question is vero. Guys, the answer to this question is vero. Now, the law says that if you increase your speed, okay, your total braking space of your vehicle will also increase. So the more you speed up your velocity, the more space it is required to stop your vehicle. Yeah, if you speed up your velocity, you will need more space before your vehicle can stop if you march on the brakes. Okay. Now, assuming that you are proceeding 50 kilometers per hour. Okay, you are proceeding 50 kilometers per hour. And when we did the calculation, it is around 40 meters. Okay, so always if you go twice a velocity, for example, the law says that in centro abitato, okay, your maximum speed limit is 50. At times you see a signal that says 30, 25, 45 in the small cities. So if you go twice a velocity, know that the space needed to stop your car will be 4 times more. Yeah. So when you talk about velocity, guys, it is very, very risky. That is why we must always slow down. If necessary, stop our car and give right of way in order not to cause an accident. Okay. Or when we are in the circulation, we must always be vigilant and make sure that we will not put other people's into danger. The more you speed up your velocity, the more space it is required to stop your vehicle. So if you go twice a velocity, you will need 4 times space before your car can stop. So when we say quadruplica, it means 4 times. And raddoppia is 2 times. That is double. Our next question. La distanza di sicurezza non dipende dal tipo di alimentazione del motore, benzina, gasolio, GPL, vero o falso? La distanza di sicurezza non dipende dal tipo di alimentazione del motore, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. Guys, to keep a security distance, to keep a space between your car and a car in front of you, it has nothing to do with the alimentation of the engine. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the fuel you use. Whether you are using GPL, gasolio, benzina, or any other alimentation. Okay, you can't say that, well, my car is alimented by benzina, so I have a certain distance to create. No. When you are creating security distance, you don't have to look to the limitation of your car. But in your car, we look to some factors, okay? We look to some factors. But the fuel or the limitation has nothing to do with security distance. Our next question. Quando si marcia in colonna, conviene aumentare la distanza di sicurezza per evitare tamponamenti a catena, vero o falso? Quando si marcia in colonna, conviene aumentare la distanza di sicurezza per evitare tamponamenti a catena, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. Now, the question says that when we are circulating in a queue, say colonna is a queue, you know, many vehicles in a queue, okay? Many vehicles in a queue. So when we are circulating in a queue, conviene, it is advisable, or it is convenient to increase your security distance to avoid crashing of vehicles in the queue. And the answer to this question is vero, guys. When you're in a queue and there's many vehicles, okay, on the road, probably there is an accident, a danger, or even when there's a rain or any reason, if you see many vehicles in the queue, it is advisable for you or convenient to increase your security distance in order not to crash the vehicles. When you say tamponamenti a catena, you're talking about, okay, crashing the vehicles ahead of you. So more than 2 vehicles, 3 vehicles, the vehicles in the queue, crashing them. You crash the vehicle ahead of you, and the one ahead of you will crash the other one. So it is like a chain. So the answer to this question is vero. La distanza di sicurezza dipende dalla presenza di veicoli che seguono, vero o falso? Yeah, guys, don't give up. Don't give up, my people. And the answer to this question is false, because the question says that the security distance depends of the presence of the vehicles following us. So to keep a security distance or to keep a safety distance, so that distance you are keeping, it also depends on the presence of the vehicles que seguono. So the vehicles following us, no. Because when we say security distance, it is the distance or the space between us and the vehicle ahead of us, not the vehicles at our back. So the vehicle at my back, I don't have to look to those vehicles. I have to look to what I have in front of me, not the vehicles following me. Our next question. Quando si circola in autostrada, è possibile diminuire la distanza di sicurezza in quanto non ci si aspetta una frenata improvvisa dal veicolo che precede, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. Now, the question says that quando si circola in autostrada, so when we are circulating in autostrada, è possibile diminuire. The answer to this question is false. Under no circumstances should a car reduce your safety distance, because if you see diminuire, you have to reduce. In security distance, the answer is false. Because if you reduce your safety distance, it's like you are trying to engage yourself in a danger. So under no circumstances should a driver decrease your security distance. You must increase it instead. So the question says that we are circulating in autostrada. It is possible to reduce the security distance in quanto non ci si aspetta una frenata improvvisa, because so far as we don't expect any sudden braking from the vehicle ahead of us, the answer is false, because you never know how brilliant, how intelligent, how good the driver who is driving in front of you. The person may be even drunk or a drug dealer, and at the point, the driver could even drive in a very bad way. So always increase your security distance, never reduce it for any purpose. La distanza di sicurezza dipende dallo spazio percorso nel tempo di reazione, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero, guys. The answer to this question is true. Yesterday, I said that when we say spazio totale di arresto, they are the same as security distance. Okay. Yeah. Security distance, they have two major factors. The question didn't say that the security distance is equal to. It says that the security distance depends on the reaction space, and the answer to this question is vero. There's a difference between the security distance is equal to the reaction space and the security distance depends on. So when we say depends on, it means that the reaction space is also one of the factors of security distance, and the answer to this question is vero. Il conducente deve stabilire il valore della distanza di sicurezza anche in base alla larghezza del veicolo di cui è alla guida, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false, guys. The answer to this question is false. Now, the question says that the driver, okay, must establish, you have to keep the value of this security distance. It's very simple. In other words, it means that the driver must keep security distance depending on the width of the vehicle he or she is driving. And the answer to this question is false. The law says that to keep a security distance, it means that you are keeping a space between you and the vehicle ahead of you, not you and the vehicle on your sideways. So the width of your vehicle has nothing to do with keeping security distance, as simple as that. Yeah, when you are driving your car, and the law says that we must keep a safety distance. It is not to be kept with the vehicles on your sideways, whereby you have to think and be careful of the width of the vehicle. No, you are keeping the security distance between you and the vehicle ahead of you. So the width of your vehicle, which is larghezza of your car, has nothing to do with security distance. Lo spazio di frenatura diminuisce su tratto in discesa di un dorso, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false, guys. When you are proceeding through downhill, your braking space is not will not be reduced as compared to proceeding through uphill. Yeah, when you are proceeding through downhill, there's a force pushing your car also. So if you match the brakes, though your car will stop, but it will require for more space to stop as compared to proceeding through in salita. So the answer to this question is false. It will aumenta, not diminuisce. La distanza di sicurezza deve essere di almeno 100 metri nelle forti discese, vero o falso? And indeed, the answer to this question is false. Now, the question says that the safety distance, okay, has to be at least 100 meters if we are proceeding through a deep downhill. And the answer to this question is false. We have calculation. If you are proceeding with such or any velocity, you will divide the velocity by 10 times 3 to have an idea of how many meters, okay, to keep between you and the vehicle ahead of you. So the law says that because you are in the downhill and there is a force pushing your vehicle also, you must increase the security distance, but not necessarily to be 100 meters. La distrazione del conducente può essere causata dalla accensione di una sigaretta, vero o falso? Because yesterday we learned that we have two main factors, reaction space and also the braking space. And the reaction space depends on we the human. So how can we be distracted and have a less or a reduction in our reaction? And the answer to this question is vero. The distraction of a driver can also be the cause of attendere. Okay, so you are putting on your cigarette. Of course, guys, if you are driving whilst you are smoking, your reaction cannot be ready. The driver can't be ready to intervene on the brakes when there's a danger. So when you are switching on or putting on your cigarette, it can also distract you whilst you are in the circulation. La distanza di sicurezza dipende dalle condizioni di salute del conducente, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is zero, because we said that either we are talking about spazio totale di arresto or security distance. They have the two main factors, reaction space and the braking space. And the question says that to keep a security distance, it depends on the health condition of the driver. And the answer to this question is zero, because this one falls under reaction space. Okay, so your health matters. Your health, your conditional health is a factor of security distance. Lo spazio totale di arresto dipende dalle condizioni dell'asfalto, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is zero. So the total space required to stop your vehicle, it also depends on the condition of the asphalt. And the answer to this question is zero, because this total space required to stop your car, it has reaction and braking space. And the braking space depends on the efficiency of your vehicle, the efficiency of the weather, the efficiency of also the asphalt or the road. So the answer to this question is zero. Yeah, Hambu says meaning of salute. When you say salute, you're talking about your health. Okay, health. The guys, yeah, you're going to do a summary again, okay? La distanza minima di sicurezza, se si viaggia a 130 km, deve essere di circa 36 metri, vero o falso? And if your answer is no, yeah, what is the result if you say the answer is no? So the answer to this question is zero. Now, if you are proceeding 130 kilometers, okay, the law says that because it is impossible for anyone to know the accurate distance we have in between, whilst the two cars are moving. Your car is moving and the car in front of you is moving. Okay, we must try to keep around 36 meters. Even if you solve this calculation with a formula, you have 39. Okay, you have 39, but no one can have that accuracy while the two cars are moving. So around 36 is good. Okay, yeah, around 36. So the answer to this question is zero. So whenever you come across this question, know that the authorities, they say that it is around 36. Il valore della distanza di sicurezza deve essere stabilito anche in base all'ampiezza della carreggiata, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false, guys. Okay, when we say ampiezza, we're talking about how large or how big the road is. Okay, no, the security distance has nothing to do with the width of your vehicle, neither the width or how big the road is, because security distance, they have different factors. We have your velocity. You do your calculation, okay? The wave or how big the road is or the kilometer is has nothing to do with your security distance. If you are proceeding at a velocity, do the calculation and know how many meters you can keep. Il valore della distanza di sicurezza da mantenere da una macchina spanditrice di sale in azione è di 20 metri, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. Guys, yesterday I said that the law says that when there's a snow and you see these plugging machines, the snow machines, okay, plugging out or cleaning the snows from the road, the law says that we must keep at least 20 meters from them. So when we say at least 20, it means that you can't keep less than 20. It's either you keep 20 or more than 20. So it is true that the value of this security distance to keep between you and this operational machine or these mechanical machines that are used to sprinkle salt, okay, you must keep 20 meters. And the answer to this question is true. If you see you must keep 30 meters, the answer is true. 25, the answer is true. Once it is not less than 20, the answer is true. Our next question. Lo spazio totale di arresto aumenta se la strada è innevata, vero o falso? Guys, the questions are very simple. I do believe that this year is our year, guys. This year, by the grace of God, we are really going to make it. And the answer to this question is vero. Now, the question says that the total space required to stop your vehicle. We have the reaction and the braking, okay? So these two factors, what is called the total space required to stop your vehicle, it will increase on a road covered by a snow. And the answer to this question is vero. Now, let's try to make some differences over here. Assuming that you are proceeding through a clean and a dry road, okay, as compared to a road covered by a snow or an ice. If you match your brakes, okay, on a dry, clean road, your car will stop, and the distance or the meters your vehicle will require to stop, it will be less or lesser than driving through a road covered by a snow and matching the brakes. Of course, if you match the brakes, the car will stop, but the car will take many space or many meters than stopping your car in a dry, clean road. So the answer to this question is true. You need more space for your vehicle to stop if you are proceeding through a road covered by a snow. La distanza di sicurezza deve essere aumentata quando il veicolo che precede trasporta un carico sporgente poco stabile, vero o falso? Guys, few questions and then we'll go to the summary. And the answer to this question is zero. The question says that the safety distance deve essere aumentata, okay? We must increase the security distance when the vehicle ahead of us is transporting a portraying goods and the goods are not well fixed. Of course, if you see a vehicle ahead of you and that car has a load and you can see that the load will be moving in the car to the extent that the load can even fall to the carriage. Of course, you have to be very vigilant and increase your security distance. And you can also continue by giving a highlight to the driver for him to know that there's something wrong with his or her vehicle. So when there's a portraying goods in a vehicle ahead of you and the goods are not well fixed, they will be moving. Guys, always increase the security distance. Lo spazio di frenatura diventa 9 volte maggiore se la velocità si triplica, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero, guys. Yeah, when you speed up your velocity, okay, when you speed up 3 times of a velocity, you will need 9 times space for your vehicle to stop. So the more you speed up your velocity, the more space you need for you to stop your car. So if you speed up 3 times the velocity, you will need 9 times more space to stop your car as well. Lo spazio totale di arresto aumenta se I pneumatici non sono usurati, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. Now, the question says that the total space required to stop your vehicle, it will increase if your car tires are not used or if your car tires are not consumed. And the answer to this question is false. So let's do a comparison with a consumed tire and a new fresh tires. Okay. So if your car has a consumed tires, okay, if you march on the brakes, okay, if you have reaction and you march on the brakes, though your car will stop, but it will require more space or many meters as compared to someone stopping the vehicle having a new tires. So a new tires, okay, if your tires are not consumed, your total space required to stop your car is always less. But if the tires are consumed, then it will require more space. So the comparison is being done on a use or a consumed tire plus non-consumed tire. Okay, so the answer to this question is false. Now some few questions and then, guys. La distanza di sicurezza deve essere tale da riuscire a fermare in tempo il veicolo in caso di pericolo, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero, guys. Yeah, the security distance has to be kept, okay, in order to be able to stop your vehicle in time in case of a danger. Yeah, that is the reason why we keep safety distance in order to be able to stop our vehicle without causing accidents or without engaging in a danger. Il conducente ha l'obbligo di controllare che il veicolo che lo segue rispetti la distanza di sicurezza, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. The question says that a driver has obligations or a driver is being forced. So it's a compulsory for a driver to control that the vehicles following you, okay, they are respecting their security distance. And the answer to this question is false. How can a driver turn back and control that the vehicle following him is respecting his or her security distance? No, you have to control yours and make sure that you keep a security distance from you and the vehicle ahead of you, not to control someone's security distance. No. Now, la distanza minima di sicurezza, se si viaggia a 30 km all'ora, deve essere di circa 2 metri, vero o falso? If your answer is false, then how many meters can we keep when we are proceeding 30 kilometers per hour? And the answer to this question is false. So the question says that when we are proceeding 30 kilometers per hour, we must keep 2 meters to be our security distance, our minimum security distance. And the answer to this question is false. So it is 9 meters. 9 meters. Guys, our last questions, and then let's do some summary. Il valore della distanza di sicurezza deve essere stabilito anche in base alla marcia innestata, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false, guys. To keep a security distance, the question says that it has to be, okay, it depends also on the type of gear we have. For example, do we have the first gear, the second gear, or the third gear? What gear are we using for the circulation? No, it doesn't matter the gears. What matters is the velocity and efficiency of your braking system and the consumption of your time. Yeah, the type of gear you have doesn't count anything, because someone may have the fourth gear, but the person can still keep a security distance. Someone may have the 3, you can still keep 5, you can still keep, but the type of gear you have has nothing to do with the security distance. The velocity is the first thing from the car, and then we go to the braking system and the consumption of the car tires. Okay, your what do you call it? Yeah, the number of the gear doesn't count anything. Neither does your handbrake count something for this security distance. No, 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 no. Yeah, so guys, yeah, I saw many people mixing the answers also. So please, yeah, we've come to the end